Hey, welcome to Get an A in TOK. I'm going to share with you an A-level exhibition that I wrote just for you. If you want to download it, look down in the description of this video. I've got a link where you can download a whole packet of stuff that I made for all of my subscribers, so subscribe, and let's get started. Here we go.
Get an A in TOK.
I chose the prompt, "Are some things unknowable?" which is a great prompt because not all of the prompts are this open-ended. Some of the prompts lead to a very specific answer, and I don't think that gives us enough room to explore. And remember, what I always say is we don't want to answer the prompt, we want to explore the prompt. So take a look at how I am going to explore it. So in object number 1, and notice I don't say what the object is, I want to save my words. The object are these three guys, and this guy's name is Ali Razi bin Haji. I'm not even gonna try that name, but he's known as the Smiling Assassin. So this is a really controversial and an important thing in Indonesia where I live, because this guy bombed and killed a bunch of people, and when he was in the newspaper, he was always smiling. And so I learned about this right when I moved to Southeast Asia, but when I chose to do this as as I chose to do this for my exhibition, what I realized was I was writing so much about this whole situation. That's not the object. The object in this image is him smiling. The smile is the object. And so it's really important before you write that you're not talking about situations. That's actually going to get you a score of a 2 or a 3, a 1 or a 2. What's important is that you're writing about actual objects or things with a specific context. Okay, now with that said, let me read my first paragraph. The man in the middle is Ali Razi bin Haji, the Smiling Assassin. He was executed for the bombing and murder of over 200 people in Indonesia. This photo, so my object, this photo, created outrage because his smile makes him appear to be unremorseful for the murders. So notice here, I'm not talking about the bombing. I'm not talking about the guy. I'm not talking about the situation. I am talking about the knowledge being communicated in this photo. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to directly address the IA prompt. This made me wonder if knowledge of Razi's feelings are unknowable. So now in the next paragraph, you know exactly where I'm going. Next paragraph, when I moved to Asia, I learned that it is common here to smile when feeling embarrassed or conflicted. I see this often when parents of screaming children smile in the mall. I could have cut smile in the mall, but I felt like that was being personal, and I'm making it really personal here because all of this is, I'm going to say, unknowable for me. I also saw an Indonesian coworker smile even though her team was being admonished by the superior. So now I'm connecting to the prompt and I'm giving a little bit more context for the object being the photo of a guy who is about to be executed smiling. In the next paragraph, I insert a little bit of research. Research is not required for this, but I do insert some research. So Malcolm Gladwell says, if you're looking at me in a manner that I perceive as bored, I would get very upset. But maybe the way that interest registers on your face is just different from other people's. So is Razi actually happy in this photo? This is really what I want to talk about. And again, I'm not talking about the bombing, I'm talking about the photo. Or am I misunderstanding his face because he shows my way of demonstrating happiness? Notice I italicized there, totally fine. Applying the prompt to personal knowledge, I'm doing two things here. I'm talking about the IA prompt, addressing it, and I'm also using a TOK term of personal knowledge. The emotions of people from different cultures may be unknowable because of the personal knowledge that I have about my own emotions. Now, seems like I'm just kind of being limited here, but I'm going to talk about how in this situation, even though I feel a certain way, I know something else. So which is true? Which do I actually know? Next paragraph. Darwin theorized that facial expressions evolved to contribute to civilization. If true, my ways of demonstrating emotion are deeply rooted. When I see this photo, I consciously tell myself that Razi is remorseful, not happy. So I'm turning this into personal knowledge. I feel like he's happy, but I have to consciously say that he's not happy because of my knowledge of the culture that I live in. I do this because I have been told by Indonesians that this was the case. But do I know that this is true? So again, staying on the prompt. I really don't. Instead, I am repeating a knowledge claim told to me. I don't really know that this man is embarrassed or conflicted. Every experience that I have with happy people looks like Emrazi here. How can he not be happy? Even now, as I write this, kind of getting meta, I imagine him feeling a bit of happiness. Now with my last paragraph, as I always do, I'm going to just close with a really short, specific addressing of the prompt. When it comes to the truth behind facial expressions, and especially emotions that contradict those of other cultures, we may never be able to know the truth. The veracity, that's a great word, veracity of such emotions are unknowable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 word sentence at the end that addresses the prompt explicitly. For my next object, gonna be completely different. And if you see on one of my other ones, I totally made up a real life situation. I'm kind of cheating with this. Let me tell you how I cheat with this. Okay, I'm gonna talk about an object that is a textbook here. I know the situation because I used to teach in Texas. I know this happened. I couldn't find a perfect photo. So when I talk about a textbook in this, I actually have a photo of this teacher talking about her textbook that she doesn't like. But it's not the textbook with the information that I am talking about. But you know what? You're never gonna know this, okay? So the thing is, if you're gonna lie, make sure you get an A while lying. Yeah, let's go. Object number 2. In the 2010s, what do you call them? In the tens, I don't like that. In the 2010s, Texas used its state authority to alter what is discussed in textbooks. In this photo, a teacher is showing history books filled with information that she disagrees with. So again, actually not a history teacher, I think. Maybe it is, I don't know. There's science there, but anyway, the photo works. The history book in this photo discusses the New Deal, one of the largest acts by the US federal government. Many Americans believe that the New Deal, via vast government spending, ended the Great Depression. But the Texas state legislature decided that lessons about the New Deal, and actually a lot of other things, should minimize this perspective. Instead, books should mention the effect that World War II had on ending the Great Depression. So, really important here. I love this real life situation. I love this object. I'm a teacher. I'm biased about how we ought to treat textbooks. But in my first draft, this paragraph that you just read was 3 paragraphs. I had to edit and edit and edit. Now, a really good tip is don't edit till you're done. Write as much as you want and then edit down. But yeah, this paragraph, I kind of ranted for a little while and it wasn't effective at all. After you're done, edit down to only the essential details. And what you see in this paragraph, these are the essential details. Cheers. Paragraph 3. These textbooks exemplify not just the culture wars, but also a question about the veracity of a historic event. Is history knowable? So it's taken a while, but I am doing a direct connection to the IA prompt. Keynesian economists believe that sustained levels of government spending ends depressions. Conservative economists believe that this is harmful, that the New Deal only seemed to work because it came just before the US's involvement in a war and the serendipitous economic expansion that it created. So again, providing a little bit of context. Again, this is so wordy. It took me so long to get this down. Though economists on both sides have well-supported theories, the cause of the end of the Great Depression is unknowable. So, direct addressing of the IA prompt. I'm really good at that because, I'm a teacher. So is much of history. If a president was to create a New Deal in the absence of war, would it end a depression? If a country in depression chose to involve itself in a war, would it help the country similarly? So here, I offer 2 rhetorical questions. And I'm doing this because they're helping me explore the prompt. I'm justifying the inclusion of this object in the discussion because I'm saying here's how this object connects to the prompt. These textbooks can only present theories because the complex web of events that occurred in the 1940s, both planned and random, will never occur again. Now, take a look here. I'm talking about the textbook, so I'm staying focused on my object. If these textbooks make either claim about the New Deal, they make a claim about the unknowable, using a keyword there. Thus, the cause of the end of the Great Depression is unknowable and, to go back to my object, unteachable. So this is cool because even though I'm personally biased and I think that Keynesian economics is correct, I'm actually saying that either perspective is unknowable. And I think that that's a really good approach. My last object I thought about doing an entire video on because I screwed this up literally 3 times. Take a look at this. This is a brain scan of somebody singing gospel songs, and in the brain scan, which is the same thing, of a person speaking in tongues. Now, I originally just wanted to talk about speaking in tongues because I wanted to talk about religious knowledge claims, and so I had an image of a woman speaking in tongues, at least I think she was. It was an image, kind of creepy, but I realized after writing it that I wasn't writing about an object. I was writing about a topic. Speaking in tongues. So I looked for a long time until I found an object that I felt like I could discuss. What I found is this, and this is my favorite thing that I've written in an exhibition sample. If you want to see the other samples, you can download it. The link is in the description. Subscribe, join my list, and yeah, I'll help you out. I'll send you some more stuff too. I won't spam you, but I'm not going to talk about just speaking in tongues. I'm going to talk about these brain scans as my object. Let's check it out. This brain chart shows the unique response that occurs when somebody practices glossolalia, or speaking in tongues. Scientists use technology to measure the change in activity of the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. I sound so smart with this. This scan shows that patients lose a sense of control when both singing gospel songs and speaking in tongues. Now, I gotta say, this paragraph started with so much other stuff, bias stuff related to my own beliefs, and honestly, it was completely trash. Let me show you how much I threw away from my original draft. So here is my organizer, and I break down the prompt here into basically turn the exhibition into a Q&A, and you can download this organizer in the description. Have I said that enough yet? But what I'm showing you here is a lot of the stuff that I wrote in my organizer, I actually cut out. So I kept the yellow stuff and then actually cut out a whole bunch of other things because it was just not wordy and it wasn't focused on the object enough. So in your first draft, write a lot, but know that you're gonna cut it out, and that's okay. Because what ended up happening is I got to a better place because of my worthless writing. So I write a bunch of crap and I see what sticks. Sticky crap. That sounds terrible. So this is my second paragraph, and this is the longest paragraph, and I'm going to continue talking about the context, but then I'm going to get into some discussion of knowledge. So, some Christians believe that practicing glossolalia is a sign of salvation. It is evidence of God's favor. Good use of a semicolon there. Others believe that it is an unforgivable sin. I explored that whole thought because of this book that I read. Totally worthless for the exhibition. It is a human making a false demonstration about God. This brain scan, so now I'm on the prompt. Let me get back to my drawing. This brain scan uses technology associated with the natural sciences, so I'm talking about an A-O-K, as a way of trying to know the unknowable. So now I'm talking about the prompt again. Does glossolalia come from God or man? So now here's my situation, and we're trying to figure it out with the object that I mentioned. These questions make me ask, is a religious or metaphysical knowledge claim unknowable? So again, laser focus on the prompt. And were the doctors using the right tools in the first place? So again, now I'm talking about the object. If, for example, a doctor said that the brain demonstrates that glossolalia wasn't from God, a Christian could say that God wanted it to appear this way. But at the same time, if the doctor says, as this scan seems to show, that something unique and potentially supernatural is happening, does that mean that we know that glossolalia is from God? The only thing this brain scan shows is brain activity, not God. Therefore, it shows us an understanding of knowledge that exists in the natural sciences, not knowledge that is a part of religious knowledge systems. Guys, abbreviate your AOKs. It helps you save words. I love this paragraph, and again, I didn't think I was going to talk about this. I thought I was going to talk about religion, but instead I'm talking about how ways of knowing work across different areas of knowledge. I love this paragraph. I'm really proud of it, mostly because, I made it. Okay, my last two paragraphs are just going to address the prompt and answer the question. Many claims are unknowable. Prompt. If the tools used to know, tools such as technology and empiricism, that's in my object, can be transcended by religious belief and faith, as the natural sciences use technology to explain the perceivable natural world. Faith is a way of knowing the metaphysical. This is so TOK. It's talking about areas of knowledge and ways of knowing. I love my little rainbow pen. There would be unknowable things about the brain if you use faith to gather knowledge. And that's actually what Greeks did. And there are unknowable things about the supernatural world when using science-based ways of knowing, abbreviate, to gather knowledge. While much in religion is unknowable, using a non-religious way of knowing only creates more that is unknowable. I think this is my best example because it's laser focused and I don't know, I just really like it because I didn't think that I was going to be comparing two different areas of knowledge and different ways of knowing, but that's what it turned into. Also, again, I say this all the time, I directly answer my prompt at the very end in a very short sentence. So if you want this example, download it. If you don't want this example, don't download it. I don't care, but I hope that you can subscribe anyway. I'll be giving some more stuff. I'll be doing TOK essays in a little bit. That's all I got. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that TOK sucks a little bit less now that you've watched this video. Have a good week, day, life, whatever. I'll see you next time.